Part 1. White Clouds. Horsebow Moon. Rumors of a Reaper. As cold air begins to creep in from the north of Fargus, Fodlan welcomes the riches of fall. The women spend their days reaping the golden fields, gratefully embracing the bounty the goddess has once again provided. The men venture into the wilds with horse bows and empty sacks ready to be filled with game.
As I believe you are already aware, Sedith's younger sister Flame has gone missing. At present, all we know for certain is that she has not left Garreg Mach.
Flame is not the type of person to just wander off on her own without telling me where she is going. We have searched the monastery thoroughly, but have found nothing. I am now mobilizing the knights to begin searching the town. Troubling rumors have been running rampant lately. I do not wish to consider the worst, but...
There are rumors of someone prowling the streets and attacking innocents night after night. The knights have investigated the matter. They have not discovered any remains, nor have they found any concrete evidence.
The people are panicked. They all insist someone called the Death Knight is coming to claim their souls with his blade. There is no way she could have escaped unscathed if she were captured by such a fiend. Where is she?
Seteth, recall that impatience begets error. Please do your best to calm yourself. I think of your sister as family as well. You know that. You have my support. We will devote ourselves fully, mind, body, and soul, to recovering her. Professor, your mission for this month is to help find Flame. The Knights have the town covered, so I ask that you focus your efforts on searching the monastery again. We do not have time to waste. You have your orders.
Flame has gone missing? Most unsettling.
It doesn't seem likely that she's simply gotten lost. I'll help in any way that I can.
So, our mission this month is to find her? Well then, let us hurry and locate her before anyone else.
I hope Flame is okay. What would happen if... Just what would we do if... You can't think like that, Byrne. Sedith would have a heart attack if he heard you.
I've heard that she has a crest, but I suppose for this moment that is irrelevant.
We'll start by gathering information. Someone must have seen Flame recently.
Right. If we work together, I'm certain we'll find her.
My thanks for giving me your spare time. I have gratitude. It's needing sweetness. What? I have regret. What? Inspirational. Yes. I am in agreement. I will be waiting happily for you to be inviting me again.
Phew. Oh, Professor, are you training too? I was just about to finish up, but if you want to join in, I can stick around a while longer. Oh no, it's fine. Just do your thing. Don't mind me. Come on, don't be shy. Phew. I'm beat, but we're finally done. I was already training when you got here, and finished right alongside you. Guess I outlasted you, huh? Speak for yourself. I'm always looking to improve. By the way, Professor, something I wanted to ask. Are you really Captain Gerald's kid? That's a pretty detached tone to take about your own family. What's your opinion of him, then? You must look up to him, at least. It doesn't sound like you really appreciate him. You didn't even know until you came here that he used to lead the Knights of Seiros, did you? If it weren't for him, you wouldn't be half the person you are now. You've probably never even thought about how lucky you are. Oh, okay, this really bothers me. Listen up. I don't care if you're the teacher and I'm the student. I'm going to outshine you. I know you were some famous mercenary before you came here, but let me tell you something. I'm going to be better than you ever were. In fact, I'll surpass you in no time at all. So don't blink. You might miss it.
Hey, Adie. Uh-oh, you're scowling again. You're going to get wrinkles all over that cute face of yours if you don't smile more.
Hello, Dorothea. I was just lost in thought. There are so many things to be done. To think of them makes my head ache sometimes. So many nobles of the Empire are utterly useless. When I am Emperor, I intend to appoint only those who can actually be useful. It doesn't matter if they're of noble or common birth.
Noble or common, eh? Can you really do that? I mean, not that I don't agree. I'd make all those nobles vanish if I could.
It's not a question of can or cannot. All that matters is doing it and doing it right. The nobility system has only been around for 1,200 years. The concept didn't exist before that.
Only 1,200 years, huh? You always say such preposterous and extraordinary things, Adie. Yet somehow you actually make it work for you. It's like you're a character from an opera.
A character from an opera? If an opera is made about my life someday, I wonder how I'll be portrayed. The revolutionary who guided the Empire to a new dawn, or the foolish ruler who took her revolution too far?
Well, that all sounds pretty violent. But either way, it would make an incredible opera. Do you figure it'd be a grand action piece full of combat and strife? Or would you prefer a somber political drama? Hail the mighty Edelgard, though red blood stains her story. Heavy as her crown may be, she will lead us all to glory. To a brighter dawn we shall carry on. Hail Edelgard!
That's quite enough, Dorothea. I'm starting to feel more than a little embarrassed. Lovely as your voice is, let's just hope that any operatic productions about me are still a ways off.
Petra's really nice. Never yells, never says mean things about people. Maybe she'd be my friend. Oh, there she is now. Okay, Bernie, you can do this. Bernadetta, are you needing help with something? How did you know? Do you have eyes in the back of your head or something? I do not have that, no. Right. Can I ask you something? Do you want to, maybe, be friends or something? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't like me. I don't know what you think of me.
What I am thinking? I am thinking that you remind me of prey.
What?
Yes, like a rabbit in the tall grass. Always watching for enemies, and you flee at any sign of danger. You are quick also. I must be careful that I am not hunting Bernie when I take out my bow.
Oh, you try not to shoot me. That's, nice.
You have similarities with prey. That is all I mean to be saying. So you're saying you might end up hunting me? There's no need to have concern. I will make sure my arrows are not hitting you.
That isn't comforting! Whatever I did to deserve this, forgive me!
You do not need forgiveness, but it is yours if you are wanting it. Was I saying something wrong?
We must begin our search for Flame, Professor. If she ran off of her own free will, that's her business. But that may not be the case. For her sake, I suggest we assume that she was abducted and begin an investigation. Who benefits from kidnapping her? Let's gather all the information we can on anyone who's been acting strangely.
I hope Flame isn't going hungry. If someone really kidnapped her, I'll never forgive them. Now that I think about it, I saw Alois hanging out by the pond not too long ago. He was always getting into trouble for trying to talk to Flame, you know? It's probably a crazy thought, but I'm starting to worry.
Hey there, Professor. Did you want to talk? What? Me? Abduct Flame? You can't really believe I did that. No, that's just because of my dumb jokes. She says that they're not very good. But if I went around kidnapping everyone who said that, the whole monastery would be empty.
Flame? No, I haven't seen her. She's been abducted. Oh, you're looking for her. Sorry, my mind was somewhere else. I just recently learned she has a crest. Did you know that, Professor? If it was a particularly rare crest, I could imagine Professor Hanneman would have quite an intense interest in her. Oh, no, I'm not accusing Professor Hanneman of abducting Flame.
Young Flame's disappearance is most troubling. What? Who would suspect me? You know what? I'll tell you who. A fool, that's who. Alas, Sethith would never allow that. However, while Flame's major crest of Sethleen is rare, there are others who possess it.
Flame was child-napped. That is what you are thinking? And the villain is inside our monastery? I must have admittance. One person has been catching my eye. Shamir is a knight not like other knights. Her movements are being reminders of... No. They remind me of Warriors of Brigid. Before she was here, what was she getting up to?
What brings you here? I'm taking a break. Is this about Flame? You find me suspicious. I was somewhere else, fighting. Is that a problem? I understand that I don't fit in among the Knights of Seiros, but that hardly links me to Flame's disappearance.
To think that Flame would disappear like this. Sethith must be worried sick. I haven't much to go off of, and perhaps it's out of line for me to feel so uncomfortable. But something has been bothering me for a while about Gilbert. I feel as though I've met him somewhere before. I also noticed him staring intently at Annette once.
Miss Flame's whereabouts are unknown. Pray she is safe. We do not seem to have any leads at present. I am one of the suspects, am I? Well, hopefully I can lay your suspicions to rest. Do you know of my, let's call it, unique situation? I was once a knight, in service to the Fargus royal family. If Ingrid believes she saw me before, it was likely in Ferdiad, the kingdom capital. Annette is... she is my... But no. I would appreciate it, Professor, if you would ask no more.
Where could Flame have gone? Do you think she's really been kidnapped? I hear Tomas has been going around asking about her. But he's probably just worried like the rest of us. Though it wasn't just Flame. He was asking about you and Captain Gerald, too.
Is something the matter? I see. So, Flame has gone missing. I will do what I can to support the search. It seems that you are a bit suspicious of me. Might I ask your reasons? I was away from the monastery for a few years, but do not forget, I have spent more than 4 decades in total working here at Garreg-Mach Monastery. Yet it was not until recently that I learned that Seteth has a sister. It is only natural to be curious, don't you think? I assure you, there is nothing more to it than that.
Ah, you're looking for Flayn's kidnapper. I can't say anything for sure, but I do have suspicions about Yuritsa. There's something about how he's handling his blade lately. It seems more impulsive than usual. It couldn't hurt to try speaking with him at least. At this hour, I think you'll find him sparring with Catherine at the training grounds.
Did you hear about Flayn? It's just one thing after another this year, I swear. Some of the lower-ranked knights are searching for her in the town. If they find anything, I'll know. What? Yuritsa? Come to think of it, I haven't seen him today. What would make you suspect him? I see. Well, I'll let the knights know.
Hey, Professor, have you seen Manuela? I saw her running off somewhere in a terrible hurry. I wonder if it has anything to do with Flayn's disappearance. Do you know, Professor? Oh, yes. Didn't you know? She was the senior diva in our opera company.
Because of Flayn's disappearance, all of the knights are searching non-stop. But we haven't found a single lead. Seteth's face is getting paler by the minute. It's hard to watch. What's that? You're looking for Manuela? Well, I did pass by her earlier. She was carrying something. A mask of some sort. I'm not close to the guy, so I can't say for sure. But come to think of it, you could be right.
Manuela ran off with Yuritsa's mask? We'll have to speak with both of them. But where could Manuela be? Yuritsa is likely at the training grounds, or in his quarters on the eastern side of the Knight's Hall.
All I look for in a meal is a full stomach. You seem to be after something more than that, Lady Edelgard.
True. I feel that sharing a table with people you're close to is a precious opportunity that should never be taken for granted.
Sounds fun! Let me show you my cooking talent. A little more secret spice, and... Hey! No peeking! Dear Goddess, hear my prayer. Please watch over Flayn. Please protect her. Yes.
Hello, Professor. You seem to be in good health. Of course. Doesn't seem intimidated. No, not at all. It's just that I find myself a little concerned for your well-being. You see, Lady Edelgard has taken something of an interest in you. Don't be flippant. There is something you need to understand about the role I play here. One of my many duties is to determine potential advantages and potential threats to Her Highness. If you prove yourself useful to Lady Edelgard, then all will be well. If you pose a threat, I shall have to dispose of you. Yes, this is no joke. While I may be a student here, I am her servant first and foremost. Therefore, if an untimely demise is not to your liking, you would do well to demonstrate your utility with all haste. I should warn you that I am far less compromising than Lady Edelgard. Do not be at ease merely because you stand in her good graces for the time being. Ah, such confidence. I'm beginning to see why you caught her eye. My family, House Vestra, has been sworn to House Resvelg for generations. Since the dawn of the Empire, we have worked to protect the Emperor by any means necessary. Both in the open and in the shadows. If you incur our wrath, you will see just what I mean.
Let's get it done quickly.
We can have success with each other. We had a great result. Great weather today. Perfect for shutting yourself inside, don't you think? Oh, you go right ahead. I'll be right here. The better the weather, the less crowded it is in here. I can't pass up having all the space to myself. I love feeling like I'm all alone in the world. Oh, that. Well, I guess I can tell you, Professor. My father's obsessed with money. He's only ever seen me as bait for a rich husband. To train me to be a good, submissive wife, he'd do things like tie me to a chair and leave me there all day, challenging me to stay quiet. I tried hard to do as he asked. Honestly, I did. But before I knew it, I just couldn't bring myself to leave my room anymore. I just had this overwhelming feeling of fear all the time. No matter how hard I tried, my father never thought I was good enough. After that, it was just constant scolding. He couldn't say 2 words to me without mentioning how useless I was. An unmarriageable girl. My life was isolated, to say the least. I wasn't allowed to play with other kids, let alone make friends. Soon, I stopped wanting that. I was happiest alone, but even that made him mad. And when he tried to drag me outside, I kicked and screamed so much, I seriously hurt myself. He's calmed down a bit in recent years. His constant torment was replaced with complete indifference. He mostly acts like I don't exist now. If you can believe it, I was basically kidnapped. My mother ordered an attendant to stuff me in a bag while I was sleeping. By the time I figured out what was going on, I was already here. For a while, I was sure I was going to die. But here I am. Look at me. Still breathing. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you down talking like that about my past. Just forget everything I told you. There's no point in talking about myself anyway. Idiot! Oh, this is why everyone hates you, Bernie! What? No, it's not... Oh, Professor! How can you be so kind to me? I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. Please don't look at me.
Tell me something. Makes sense to me.
Thanks.
Ah, Professor. Always a pleasure to see you. I wonder, might you have a moment to chat? Come now. You have no need to be on guard. I'd never cause you harm. You're far too valuable a specimen, well, that is to say, too valuable a member of the Academy staff. Indeed, the further my crest research progresses, the closer you come to learning the truth of your heritage. Is it not so? When I learned you bore the lost crest, the very crest of flames itself, I set about learning everything I could about your past. What was the origin of your bloodline? How have the events of your life been shaped by your lineage? I became somewhat obsessed, I must admit. Nothing so crass as an investigation. No, I researched. I spoke to mercenaries whom you've worked with in the past to learn about your life before the Academy. Of course, I also contacted Gerald and his mercenary friends. Your father does keep rather interesting company. I'm excited to share with you what I learned, but I do ask that you correct me if I am mistaken on any account. The story begins with Gerald serving as captain of the Knights of Seros. There was a woman at the monastery with whom Gerald was quite close. At first, it seemed obvious this mystery woman was your mother. Alas, that cannot be the case. The timing is all wrong. As it was told to me, the woman in question passed away shortly before Gerald left the monastery. Yet your birth occurred sometime later, while Gerald was taking work as a mercenary. This, of course, presumes your age is accurately reported. If you were born sooner, well, the story would be quite different, would it not? Oh, I am aware. You two were certainly enigmatic, as far as mercenaries go. For example, Gerald never once spoke of his time serving as captain of the Knights. That's quite a secret to keep for all those years. In the end, your old acquaintances had little definitive to say about either of you. However, they all agreed on one thing. Your father and yourself were a strong pair, warriors to be respected and feared. You in particular. In fact, many came to know you as the Ashen Demon. They say you would destroy your enemies without a hint of emotion on your face. The mercenaries I spoke to revered you as a living legend of sorts. So, that is what I learned. And I admit, it is barely more than I knew before. The next step in my research is to ask your blood for answers, and hope that it is more forthcoming than your past acquaintances.
Oh, it's you. Out late again, I see. What brings you here? I just wanted some fresh air. There's a lovely breeze tonight. I always wander outside when sleep evades me. So I see. Still, it's ill-advised to stay up so late. I should get some sleep too, but... Have you ever felt a sort of longing for the outdoors? I have. There are times I long for the warmth of the sun, for a sweet breeze on my face. Do you remember what I told you the other night? About my past? None of my siblings had a chance to lead the sort of life they deserved. An ordinary life. Well, perhaps if I tell you more, it will come back to you. My siblings and I we were imprisoned underground, beneath the palace. The objective was to endow our bodies with the power of a major crest. I have always possessed the crest of Seiros, inherited through the Hresvelg bloodline. But it was only a minor crest, and most of my siblings bore no crest at all. In order to create a peerless emperor to rule Fodlan, they violated our bodies by cutting open our very flesh. Now here I stand, the fruit of that endeavor, Edelgard von Hresvelg. But that came at too high a price. The others were sacrificed. Ours weren't the only lives devastated by that terrible process. Innocents died as well, without even knowing what they were dying for. And there you have it, the truth of the Hresvelg's empire. It is. But when you see my true strength, you will know that I speak the truth. I have kept it hidden all this time, but I will reveal to you the power of my second crest. It is the same as yours, the crest of flames. When it manifested for me, I swore a silent oath. For the sake of my family, and for all the poor souls whose lives were traded for my existence. For their sake, I will build a world where such meaningless sacrifices never again sanctioned. As Emperor, I will change the world. I swear it.
Working together works for me.
We can do this.
Here's the results.
With this idea, I may be able to get the one-up on Edelgard.
This again.
Hubert! I wish you would not sneak up on me like that.
Maybe you would be more perceptive if your mind were less burdened by sedition.
Sedition? Absurd. This is an important project.
Yes, I heard. A new way to prove how superior you are to Lady Edelgard. She is not your rival, Ferdinand. She is above you. A noble like you ought to know his place.
Anything is better than being a noble like you. Every time you open your mouth, it's Lady Edelgard this or Lady Edelgard that. Do you ever think for yourself? You follow her around like a pet. You spend all of your time fretting over her, and yet you never truly express an opinion of your own. Before you reprimand me, take a moment to consider your own failings.
Your nonsense is tiresome, so I hope this will be the last time I have to remind you. Lady Edelgard is the Imperial Princess. You are merely the Prime Minister's son.
Yes, I understand that. But my duty is to guide her, to give frank advice when she is on the wrong course of action. That is what I strive to do, always. Thus my devotion to surpass Edelgard, so that if she needs guidance, I will be prepared to give it. If you think it is tiresome to have a mind of your own, you will never be much of an advisor.
Does the river of filth pouring out of your mouth ever stop flowing? Your obsession with all things superficial is disgusting. It's no use. You're hopeless. I'll take my leave.
I have nothing more to say to you. Get out of here.
It's peaceful here. Flowers are so calming. Just looking at these, it's like all the terrible parts of the day just disappear. If only people could be more like flowers.
What's Bern doing? She looks like there's something wrong.
All these nobles are just terrifying. And the commoners? Just look at Dorothea. So pretty, popular, dazzling. There's no way someone like me could ever be close with someone like that.
Bern, are you okay?
Dorothea! Did you hear all that?
Just the part about you wishing you could get along with someone. So, Bern, who have you got a crush on? Seriously now, you have to tell me. Who are they? Do I know them? I'm so excited for you, Bern.
No. I was actually thinking about being friends with you.
Me? I thought we already were friends.
That's not what I mean. Oh, I'm such a coward. I thought it would be great if we could be closer. But old memories just get in the way for me.
Byrne, whatever happened in the past, you know you have my full support. I'm here for you. I thought we'd already been friends for a long time now. Please.
Just forget it. We'll never be close friends. Father would just... He would just... No!
Wait, Father? What did she mean by that?
You're looking pretty tired, Linhardt. I think you could use a little more of the fighting spirit.
I believe you have enough fighting spirit for the both of us.
Enough? There's no such thing. You need as much as you can get if you're gonna train.
I'd rather pace myself. You're becoming too much like your father. I still recall with startling clarity the time he forced me to do some training.
Ha! I remember your father wasn't too happy about that. Our fathers actually got into a fight over it.
They hate one another so much. I simply cannot fathom what's wrong with the two of them.
I wish they'd just have it out already. One big fight to settle things. My father would win, obviously, but it would still be fun to watch.
That would be rather cruel. I don't think anyone in Fodlan could beat up your father. My father does have the height advantage, though.
Height advantage? What does that matter?
When two opponents are of similar strength, the one with the height advantage wins. It's pure math.
Whoever forces the other to submit wins. That's how fighting works. It has nothing to do with height.
Brute strength alone doesn't decide a fight. And taller people have longer limbs, too. Longer limbs equates to a longer reach. Taller people can hit you from farther away. Oh, and they have more leg strength. There's also that... Well, I'm bored explaining this. I think you get my point.
No, I don't get it. Now you're talking about limb length and reach? None of that matters when you're up close and brawling.
You know, I'm going to agree with you just so I don't have to keep talking.
If you've got something else to say, then come out and say it. Actually, no, forget this. I'll prove it to you myself. Some of those new knights look pretty tall. I'll fight one just for you.
And off he goes.
They're all so strong, I couldn't land a single blow.
So it's as I said then, isn't it? The tallest fighter has the advantage, and my father could beat yours in a fight.
I do not believe I am required to team up with you.
I would rather work with almost anyone else. But I will do what needs to be done.
Of course, we will both do what we have to. But do not drag me down to your level.
We could have done better if we had each been more willing to compromise.
You are right about that. We were both stubborn for foolish reasons.
It seems Flayn is still missing. What could have happened to her?
Everyone, hurry! I heard a scream coming from Professor Yuritsa's room!
Yuritsa. Ah, the combat professor with the mask. He has always been rather suspicious. We must hurry.
Professor Yuritsa? Are you there?
He does not seem to be here. On the ground! Professor Manuela!
She's unconscious. Someone clearly attacked her.
Look at her hand. It looks as though she is pointing at something. There.
There's an opening behind that shelf. Perhaps a secret passageway.
What is the meaning of... Wait, is that Manuela? What happened here?
We know as much as you do. She needs to be taken to the infirmary.
Yes, of course. And quickly. Give me a hand, child.
Understood. I'll support her head. Professor, I'll be back shortly. Please be careful.
Does this mean Professor Yuritsa did it? Could he also have kidnapped Flayn?
We should start by investigating this passageway. Do you agree, Professor? Agreed. The culprit could be hiding inside.
That settles it. We'll take the offensive. Here we come, you monsters!
Shall we, Professor? I never would have imagined. I see someone. They're unconscious. Yes. And there is someone else, too. It appears to be another student.
Someone's coming. I recognize that Scythe mask. It's that jerk we fought at the Holy Mausoleum.
That sword. You must be. One of us will die. The other will live. I will enjoy this dance of damnation.
Our objective is to recover Flame. Let us hope we are not too late.
Let the lesson begin!
Should I have held back?
Hardly worth my time. This strength will serve Lady Edelgard well.
Only a fool challenges me.
All roses have thorns. I will win! I will not be stopping.
Let's get this over with. Huh. Victory.
Anywhere I can hide. Whoa, did I get stronger?
What a jump. I'm just getting started. What a thrill.
Kill them.
Halt. You're having a bit too much fun.
You are getting in the way of my game.
Huh. You'll have more opportunities to play soon. Your work here is done.
Understood. I will go.
We will cross paths again. I am the Flame Emperor. It is I who will reforge the world.
Flame Emperor? Rather worrisome that he sounds intent on showing up again.
Are they both okay? We should get them out of here.
The enemy is withdrawn. Let's carry them up.
They're pale and their pulses are slow. Still, I don't believe their lives are in danger.
You found Flame? Where?
You missed the most important part of the mission. We found her within that secret passage. The culprits were the Death Knight and... what was his name? Ah, the Flame Emperor. Sadly, they got away.
All that matters is Flame's safety. Right, Professor?
We will take these two to the infirmary. Professor, please inform Seteth.
Whatever the circumstance, I'm glad Flame is safe. Though I'm curious to find out who that other girl is. Huh? Professor? Is that a smile? You look happy. I don't think I've ever seen you like this before. Anyhow, we should hurry to Seteth. He must be beside himself by now.
Professor, please allow me to express my eternal gratitude once more. Flayn is safe and sound, and I have you to thank for that. Mere words could never express how thankful I am. I am indebted to you. Yes, indeed. I too am overjoyed. Her kidnapper was the masked knight who vanished during the rite of rebirth, the one known as the Death Knight. Considering the circumstances, it seems plausible to assume that his true identity is Yuritsa. And we cannot forget about the mysterious Flame Emperor. His true motives are yet unclear. However, I have an idea. I believe the enemy may have been after Flayn's blood. The blood that flows through her veins is special. It is extremely rare, and extremely dangerous. If enemies who know the secrets of Flayn's blood have appeared, our only option is to leave the monastery and go into hiding.
Brother, wait.
Flayn, what are you doing here? You should be resting.
I do not like the path of your thoughts. I do not wish to live in some lonely, remote location where I never get to see anyone. Not ever again.
If we stay here, you may be targeted again. Wouldn't it be better for the two of us to live in peace?
Even if we ran off to some new, secret location, there is no guarantee that they would not find us. That is why I believe it would be safest to stay in the monastery, where we are surrounded by capable knights and professors.
I see your point. I do. However...
You know it is the only reasonable option. What if I were to join the professor's class? Because, with a professor like you nearby, I shall be safe no matter what foe should appear.
I see. I am afraid you have a good point. Professor, due to my position, I have closely scrutinized everything about you. After all that has happened, I must admit that you are indeed a trusted ally. So what say you? Can I entrust you with Flayn's safety?
I am so glad that Flayn is safe. Yet I can't help but wonder what the story is about that other girl. She wore the uniform of the academy. But who is she?
Well done, Professor. I see that I was right to ask your class for assistance. I have been told that Manuela and Flayn are recovering nicely, as is Monica. Monica, the girl you rescued along with Flayn, is also a student of the Officers' Academy. However...
She is a student from last year's class. She went missing just before she would have graduated. It never occurred to us that something might have happened to her at the monastery. We assumed she had run away. I never dreamed that we would find her. Not like this.
Monica has asked to rejoin the Black Eagle House once she has fully recovered. Our enemies are still out there, so we must remain cautious and continue our investigation. However, we must also help the students to move on from this incident.
After all, the Battle of the Eagle and Lion will be held in Gronder Field next month.
Yes, the students will remember it for the rest of their lives. Please guide them so that they may show us their best at the coming battle.
So, you'll be going to Gronder Field next month. You've never been there before, have you? There is unease in the western side of the Empire, but everything east of the capital, Envar, is stable. Well, there was a noble rebellion a short while ago, but it didn't amount to much. Sorry, but I've got my own mission, and it's far from Gronder Field. The Church has always been quick to make use of those who work for them. What I'm more concerned about is finding out who among us is pulling the strings. Ever since the Rite of Rebirth, strange groups have been seen around Garreg Mach and elsewhere too. There was also an incident where some knights investigating these suspicious strangers turned up dead. Not that it's likely, but if something like that ever happens to me, search this room, every corner, behind every shelf. I'm going to leave something for you. Don't get me wrong, I have no intention of dying. I know it would be too much to ask you to cheer up, but can you at least drop the serious... Well, I'll be. Was that a smile just now?